Hey everyone, it's Creepermaster back for another video, and in this video I am going to be doing Daily Ninjago review number 24. And tomorrow I'm going to review a very special set to me, which you guys aren't going to think it's the most spectacular set ever probably, but it's a special one to me. So anyways, let's stop talking about the set I'm going to review tomorrow and start talking about the one I'm going to be reviewing today. So today I'm reviewing the NRG Kai versus Chokun Weapon pack. This is a pretty cool set. It's basically two spinner sets. It costed $20 back when it came out in 2012. You can't get this set anymore. It's retired. It's a pretty cool set. So yeah, without further ado, and let's start with Kai's side of this pack. Alright, so the first thing with NRG Kai is, of course, NRG Kai himself right here. This is a really nice looking minifigure. He's completely all red. And he's pretty cool. He's got a nice looking mask with a nice detailing and printing right there. And just remove his mask quickly. Oops, that's his whole head. So here he is. Pretty similar. Got his scar there still. Pretty shiny detailing, you can see it's really shiny. And yeah, you've got some nice fire around his face there, which is kind of cool. Very nice printing. Right there, you can see his fire symbol, and it continues down the legs. And you got a little bit more on the back there, so this is a really nice minifigure. I like this one a lot, but there is not much to talk about, so let's move on to his weapons. Alright, so here is NRG Kai's weapons, which include a silver katana, nothing too special. Get the camera to focus a little bit. Just a little more. There we go. Silver katana, pretty cool weapon right there, just pretty standard though, you get that in a lot of sets. And this next weapon is an axe. See if my camera will focus at all. There we go. So here is this. It's just a light gray axe, which it's dark gray. So just a dark gray axe right here. Nothing too special, just one piece right there. Next weapon is this torch spear or something, which pretty cool. Got a nice looking flame up there, and nice just looking weapon. I kind of like this one. So yeah, that's that weapon. And now the fourth weapon is a scythe here with a little like fiery piece at the bottom there. And this is a pretty cool looking weapon. I like this one a lot. Oops, I just dropped it. So pretty cool weapon. And his golden weapon is this strange looking weapon. Kind of weird, but still pretty cool looking weapon. I like this one a lot there, so pretty cool. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is for the weapons. So now let's move on to the spinner. Alright, so here is the spinner right here. This is a super cool looking spinner right there. Now let's just take a quick look at the crown first before anything. So you can see it's a pretty cool looking crown. It's a silvery sort of dark gray, and it's got some cool gold printing on the corners right there, which are pretty cool. You can build on it, as you can see there. So, and here's the spinner itself, which is a bright neon transparent orange. Got some cool fire little symbols there that look pretty cool. And down here you've got a transparent orange spinner piece at the bottom. And yeah, let me just show you what it looks like with the crown on it. Right there. Looks pretty cool. Spins nicely. Pretty cool like that. I like the spinner. One of my favorites. And speaking of spinners, we have some spinner accessories here. You've got some of these, which are just some flames on some little black cones, which you would put on the sides as walls or to block. That looks really cool. And you've got some little spears right here, which can be put on the bottom Just stick those on. And one more. And there you go. And now when you spin it, those would fly out the bottom. Now you have a powered up spinner, which looks super cool. It's going off camera a little bit, so let's just stop it there. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is for the spinner. Now let's move on to the cards. Oh, kind of forgot about these. You get a few little bricks here. You get a 2x2 red plate and a 1x2 trans red brick there. These could be used for multiple things, like put on the side of the spinner to block, or you could take them and put them right here, like so, and just do that, and now your spinner has a little bit of a boost. So that's pretty cool, but the main use for these pieces would be to make a card stand just like this. So yeah, that's speaking of cards. Now let's finally get to the cards. So here is the first card for NRG Kai, which is of course NRG Kai himself. And NRG Kai, you don't really see this much in the show, but this is supposed to be their true potential. Forgot to mention that, the NRG Ninja. So this art, I really like it. This is super cool. You can see his golden weapon right here. Got his name. He has Spinjitzu power of 900 in total. He has Spinjitzu power 500 of the fire element, which is maxed out. And Spinjitzu power 400 of the lightning element. Spinjitzu power 0 of earth and 0 of ice, so he has no power with earth or ice. So yeah, this is a pretty cool card. Now let's move on to the second card you have that comes with Kai. So here is Rings of Fire right here, which is pretty cool. Requires Spinjitzu power 200 of the fire element. The use of this card is set up the above, spin at the same time. If you spin longer without touching a card, reclaim lost weapon. So this could be pretty useful for you, but it sounds like it'll be pretty tricky, so yeah, that's pretty much all there is for this card. This art is very similar to some other stuff, so some other cards we have. But anyways, let's move on to the third card. So here is NRG Kai's third card, which is Spitfire Snake. Pretty cool art. You have Spitta spraying some fire, which is coming out as snake heads, which is kind of weird. But he has Spinjitzu power. You require Spinjitzu power 500 to use this card, which is of the fire element, which is maxed out. And you require a crown on your spinner to use this card. The use of this card is keep face up, discard if you lose crown. Throw fire cards from your discard pile during every turn. So every spin, sorry. I don't know how useful this card is, but it's still a pretty cool looking card. Now let's move on to card number 4, I think? Yeah, 4. Alright, so here is the fourth card is Sensei's Whistle, which is a lightning card. Requires Spinjitzu power 400 of the lightning element. The use of this card is this spin is a tie, both players spin again. Could be pretty helpful if you lose a round. So pretty cool looking art. You got Sensei there blowing his whistle. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say for this card. Now let's move on to the NRG Kai's fifth and final card. NRG Kai's final card is Strike Down. It is of the lightning element. Requires Spinjitzu power 300 to use this card, and you need to be using your golden weapon to play this card. The use of this card is win if both players fall. No, characters, not players, sorry. This could be a useful card, but it's very rare that both characters will fall. And a pretty cool card because it's got a nice foil gold and really nice looking art there with Cole and Lizaru there underwater with a golden weapon above them. So it's a pretty cool card. I like this one a lot, but now that's all for NRG Kai. Now let's move on to Chokun. Alright, so here is Chokun himself, which is a pretty nice looking minifigure. He has short orange legs. Don't see that piece very often. And pretty cool printing on his torso right there, as you can see. And some more nice printing on the back. This is a little bit cracked because this is an older minifigure. Got some nice silver painting on his head there and a little bit of snake scales coming up the side. Got a bright yellow eye there and some nice teeth. So pretty cool looking minifigure. Now let's move on to his weapons. Alright, so here are Chokun's weapons, which include a nice silver machete right here. Pretty cool weapon right there. Nothing too special though. A transparent orange snake. This is a really cool piece. I kind of like Spitta's trans purple snake, but this one's orange, so that's pretty cool. I like that weapon a lot. Here we have this spear, which has a drill on the end. This is a pretty devastating looking weapon. Looks pretty dangerous, but it's kind of small, and that's all for that weapon. Nothing too much to talk about. And this giant hammer, which is probably the coolest weapon that he has. Let me just zoom in a little bit on that. Or not. I have the worst camera ever. I won't even let me try to zoom in now. So, that's a little bit weird. I don't know why it's not zooming in. Come on, zoom in. There we go. Okay, never mind, I give up. Just a big hammer. Looks pretty cool. And his golden weapon is just a mace. A little bendy mace, but that's just one piece. Not too spectacular, but just a little golden mace. So that's pretty much all for his weapons. Alright, so here we have Chokun's spinner. Let's start with taking a look at the crown. I'll just pop that off. Transparent orange. Got some nice little studs right there so you could build on. Some really cool snake scales right there and snake details. Pretty awesome. And then you have a transparent dark green spinner with some nice rock printing. Lime green spinner piece at the bottom. And yeah, it's a pretty cool looking spinner. You've got, there's that. Here's what green and orange go pretty well together. And speaking of spinners, we have a few spinner accessories right here, which include some of these walls right here, which can just be put on the side, which that one's kind of tight. They're a little bit hard to put on, but there we go. Some nice walls to protect him a little bit while he's in there. And you also have some transparent orange snakes right here. Pretty cool. And you would just snap these onto the bottom, give your spinner a little bit. It doesn't really affect play that much, but it does look super cool there. Got some nice snakes like flying out from underneath. So that's all for the spinner. So here we have some bricks right here. Same thing with Kai, all similar. 1x2 brown bricks and 2x2 brown plate. Pretty cool. These can be used for multiple things, which could be put on the side there to protect the spinner. The other walls are kind of better though. Or you could take this off and you could put them on the bottom and give your spinner a little bit of a boost, which is pretty cool. But the main use for these bricks would be to make a card stand to hold the cards, which is done like so. Just by doing that, and there you have a card stand. So speaking of cards, let's get right to the cards. Alright, so the Chokun's first card is of course Chokun's character card, which he has a Spinjitzu power 100 in total. He's from the earth element, which makes sense. And you can see his golden weapon right down there. Whoopsie. There's the back of a Ninjago card, what it looks like if you did not know what one looks like. They all are identical like that, on the back at least. And he has Spinjitzu power 300 of the fire element, Spinjitzu power 100 of lightning, 300 of earth, and 300 of ice. So this is a pretty cool looking card. Looks like he's in a battlefield with a bunch of weapons. So let's move on to Chokun's second card. So here is Chokun's second card, which is Gateway Guardian. It's of the ice element. Requires Spinjitzu power 200 of the ice element. Use of this card is set up the above, spin at the same time. If you go through gate, reclaim lost weapon. Pretty cool, so this could be pretty useful, but there's not much to talk about, so that's all for this card. Here is Chokun's third card right here, Elemental Strength. Ice element. Requires Spinjitzu power 300 of the Ice element. Adds Spinjitzu power 100 to all 4 of your powers until player wins. Immediately play another card. Pretty cool art. Got all the elements coming onto Zane with a green glow coming off him. I like that a lot. But that's all for this card. Now let's move on to the Chokun's fourth card. So here is Chokun's fourth card, which is Circular Saw. It's of the Earth element and requires Spinjitzu power 400 of the Earth element. You need a crown on your spinner to use this card. Pretty cool art there. Jay's sword getting chopped in half by a saw. The use of this card is keep face up, discard if crown is removed. Opponent discards a card every time you spin. So that could be pretty bad for your opponent, but that's all to say about this card. Now let's move on to Chokun's fifth and final card. So here is Chokun's final card, which is Lava Puddle. It is of the Fire element. Requires Spinjitzu power 300 of the Fire element. Use of this card is Laid Down card. Opponent discards a face-up crown card if spinner touches it, then remove. Not the best card ever, but still pretty cool. But that's all for the cards. So that was pretty much it for the review. That was everything in the set. This is a pretty cool set. I highly recommend it if you find it for around $20 or $25. I really like NRG Kai. He's a pretty cool minifigure, but that's pretty much all there is to say for this set. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.